I decided it might be fun to 3D print an RC van. Found a cool van body model, and I found a cool 3D printable chassis. So first off, I finally have my Prusa MK 3.9S running again. I swapped out the X-Buddy board, but it didn't seem to do any good. It still just would not pass XY homing. So I thought, well, maybe the love board was causing the issue. So today I swapped out the love board. I know that was a stretch. I was grasping at straws. It was very unlikely that that was the problem. And as it turns out, yeah, it didn't work. The printer still would not function. It would not pass XY calibration. So, out of desperation, I told the firmware through this interface here that the printer was actually an MK4S and X and Y calibrated. So I thought, great. So once I got through all the calibration steps after having pretty much rebuilt the printer, I set it back to MK 3.9S and sent it this print job, which is 4 shocks I'm printing out of TPU. And it again failed the XY calibration. It could not home. So I went back into the configuration menu and reset it back to the MK4S, and everything homes again. So I'm thinking firmware bug. So I'll tell my Prusa slicer that it is an MK4. I mean, functionally they're pretty much the same printer. I think the only major difference is the material that the vertical support is made out of. This one's metal, and I think the newer ones are a thick plastic. At any rate, after being down for the better part of 2 weeks, the printer's now up and running, and we're starting to see shocks being printed. So good there. Now, the Bambu Labs P1S is printing one of the van body parts. Perhaps I should have picked tree supports, so this may have been a mistake, but we'll get through it. We'll see how it goes. I started with the front clip, but I couldn't get the supports off. So I'm going to go ahead and try the front clip again, but this time I'm going to use the sample roll, that's the second slot in that AMS there, of PLA / PETG support material. I looked up how to do that, the proper methods. So I'm going to try that on the next go around with the front clip. So we'll see how that goes. And my Trudon 2.0 Pro from Formbot is printing a battery hold down out of ABS. By the way, that fan body stuff is PLA. So this is printing in ABS. I think I've finally gotten kind of a handle on printing ABS. I'm having a lot higher success rate. I also added a Logitech C270 webcam to this printer. Remixed a webcam mount that I found online. This one was for the Voron and was meant to screw into the rail system. I don't have an access to the rail from here with the plexiglass cover, and I didn't want to cut a notch in it. So I added a primitive to the print so that that mounting surface would be flat. I printed it that way. Then all I had to do was remove the original hinge and mount from the camera. It's not a really good angle, I'm sorry. I can't get a good angle on it. But there you go. That's now working and set up in Clipper. And I can now record my time lapses. And I can keep an eye on the printer from the computer in the living room. So that's my current project. Just something to do.